Hey everybody, welcome to Everything's Plastic. Today we're going to be taking a look at a G.I Joe Classified series, and this is number 49 in this series, Dusty. Gotta admit, I'm very excited to have this one. It was always one of my favorite toys as a kid. I wish this was my original Dusty that I had, but I managed to track down another one in pretty decent condition. When Dusty was announced in the Classified series, I was beyond excited. Alright, so let's take a closer look at packaging. We get some nice artwork on the front here of Dusty, and we have some nice artwork on the side here as well. On the other side, we just have the number 49 and the symbols of what he specializes in. I'm not going to go through them, but if you want to check out the Hasbro Pulse website, all these symbols are here and what they mean and what he specializes in. Feel free to check it out. On the back here, we have the same artwork that we've seen before on a lot of these figures in the Classified line. Pretty cool artwork. Really like to have a little read-up or something though on each character. It's been a long time. I used to have these toys as a kid, but I don't necessarily know all the facts about each and every character. Just really like the toys. And I really love the animated series. So that's pretty much it for packaging. We'll be right back with this one out of the package to get a closer look. Alright, we have Dusty outside of the package. For accessories, he comes with quite a few accessories. First on that list is a backpack. See some cool detail in the backpack, but man, it's a solid piece of brown, cheap looking plastic. So, yeah, not sure how I feel about that. It is kind of cool. But at the same time, man, a little bit of paint would have definitely added to the overall visual of this one. We have a knife as well. A little bit of detail on that. We have two sets of goggles. So I guess one set goes on top of his helmet, like we see in the original version here. Comes with a magazine, a clip for his machine gun. Not quite sure what the name of this rifle is. Pretty cool looking rifle, all the same. Not a whole lot of detail on this one. I wish Hasbro would actually paint their weapons, man. They're, really cool sculpts and everything else, but then when you get down to the accessories, I mean, even without back too, I don't have a lot of these out of the package, but the ones that I do have out of the package, the figures itself are fantastic, man. I think they're great. A lot of detail, very clean paint application, excellent articulation. But when it comes to accessories, I find their accessories are always slightly lacking. And obviously, we can't have Dusty without his helmet. A little bit disappointed that this wasn't actually soft goods going around here like it is on the original version. I mean, this is from the 80s and you got soft goods, so I mean, yeah, come on Hasbro, make it happen. That being said though, it is a cool looking helmet. Let's get a closer look at Dusty. Man, this guy looks really young. I can't remember the backstory on Dusty. Should have did a little bit of research, I guess, before I started doing this review, but pretty cool face sculpt, man. Awesome paint application on this one. Cool sculpt in the hair. And yeah, everything else is done pretty well. We can see awesome detail on his eyes. His lips and his eyebrows and everything else are painted nice and clean. Then we get down to the body, and overall the paint application on the full body is pretty awesome. I don't like how this is a shiny plastic. And when we get to his arms and everything else, it's a softer, more flat appearance. So it's kind of weird. It just kind of sticks out, to be completely honest. And another thing that I don't like, I guess, is the bottom part of his shirt. But it's just a separate piece, and it's kind of weird, man. It makes it look like a skirt. Not that there's anything wrong with a soldier wearing a skirt, but it's just kind of weird, man. I would rather just see a belt going across, to be completely honest, instead of this skirt-like extra piece here. His elbow is actually a lighter color plastic than the rest of his body, and then when we get down to his knee joints are the same thing. Now I guess you can probably say that this is like knee pads or something in his uniform and elbow pads. If that's the case, then yeah, it makes sense. But if it's just a different piece of plastic and they didn't bother to take the time to match up the paint, then obviously yeah. Cool sculpt in his boots. I mean, pretty good detail. Would like to see a little bit extra paint on his laces or something like that, just to make it stand out a little bit. I mean, these guys are getting more expensive, so obviously when the price goes up on these, we expect a little bit more from Hasbro. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a closer look. Before we pop on all his accessories, let's take a few seconds to go over articulation. His head goes back this far, down this far. We do get some side to side and all the way around. There is a little bit of articulation in his neck as well. His neck goes forward this far, back this far, and you do get a little bit of side to side as well. There is a butterfly joint where you get decent range of motion out of it. Not a crazy amount of movement there, but you do get some. His shoulders come up this far. Does go all the way around. There's a bicep swivel as well. And we do get double jointed pinless elbows, which you get pretty decent range of motion. can actually pop this one up and get even better range of motion out of that. I love how Dusty has pinless joints. Fantastic. There is an ab crunch there as well that clicks forward this far, goes back this far. Just above his skirt here, there is a little ball joint that goes side to side. You get a little bit of back and forth, and there is a full rotation as well. Whoa, bit stiff. His legs come out to a complete split. If you're unfamiliar with the Classified line, his legs actually drop down to get a bit more articulation. His legs do go forward this far, goes back this far. I forgot to mention too, when we're going over a closer look, that his crotch and the bottom part of his shirt is actually a different color from his pants and his shirt. So they didn't really match it up that great. Kind of stands out. From a distance though, it looks great, but when you actually get this one in hand and you actually put some light on it, all of these things stand out. Alright, there is a upper thigh cut. We do have fantastic double jointed knees. Awesome range of motion, man. Goes all the way back. He can kick his own butt. And there is a boot cut. You get full rotation out of that. And for his ankles go back this far, forward this far, and all the way around. Gotta admit, man, the joints on this one feel really nice. Some are a little bit stiff, but overall, nice smooth joints in this one. Fantastic. Alright, so let's pop on some accessories. Backpack goes on just like that. Do have a little sheath on the side of his footer here for his knife. That slides in nice and easy. And for his rifle, his magazine just pops in nice and easy as well. Alright, here we go with his rifle in hand. Forgot to mention when we're going over a closer look that this bipod actually comes down. I think it's called bipod legs, whatever you want to call it. You guys get the idea. It does actually pop out, just like a little clip there. It does pop out. It might be removable. Base of the legs might be a little bit hard to get out through, but I think it's definitely possible if you guys want to remove the bipod. And I guess these ones here go on top. Pops on just like that. Very loose fitting helmet. Feels kind of weird. Not a fan. Definitely should fit a little bit better. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Here we have him fully decked out in all of his accessories. The only thing that's missing off of him is the other set of goggles. Want to put his goggles on just to give you guys a rough idea of how they look. Here he is with his goggles on as well. Kind of cool, but not really. I seen on one of the Facebook groups, on one of the Classified groups, that if you actually put his goggles on this way and then put his helmet on, his helmet actually snaps on nice and snug, which is pretty awesome. And man, they're not lying. So I highly recommend you put his goggles on. Put his goggles on backwards like this before you slide his helmet on. You can't see the strap going around his head or anything like that. So overall, man, at least it'll stop you from losing your accessory, and it actually keeps his helmet on. So there we have it. Here's Dusty all decked out in his accessories with his gun in hand, backpack on, and all that good stuff. Give you guys one more closer look all the way around. It is a pretty cool figure, man, don't get me wrong. Tad bit disappointed. I expected a little bit more. At the same time, I'm just very excited to have Dusty in my collection. Just to do a quick comparison to Dusty in 3 3/4 inch form, the original form. Here he is. Awesome. So I think they did a pretty good job, man. Even his name tags and all that stuff is pretty accurate to the original design. And they even get the detail of his knife on his leg as well. It's on the opposite leg, but at the same time, who cares, man? It's there. That's all that matters. Doesn't have to be identical, but it holds true to the original design, which is fantastic, man. What else can you ask for? Just for a few comparisons, here we have him next to Outback, and we have him next to Flint and a Cobra Bat. Overall, man, Dusty is pretty much the same size. There are not a lot of size differences. If you took his helmet off, he's pretty much on par with all these. Bat is probably just a tiny bit taller, but overall pretty similar in size. Just to do one more side by side. I know this guy's on the base. This is actually the base from Series 1 Captain America. I think it's fantastic. The only thing that's missing is the American flag, but I love it, man. I think Major Blood looks fantastic. That pretty much wraps up our unboxing and figure review. Overall, I'm going to give this guy a 9 out of 10. The only real issue with this one is how loose his helmet is, and obviously the fact that it's not soft goods on the back kind of bothers me. But the overall sculpt of his helmet still looks pretty cool, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. And the only reason why I would take off any points is I don't like the overall design of this here. I think it's stupid. I mean, if this is supposed to be the bottom part of his shirt hanging out like it is on the original version, why have it a separate piece, man? I just rather do without it. Just put a nice belt on him and leave it at that. This actually looks like a very short mini skirt, and in my opinion looks kind of stupid. Let me know in comments below what you actually think of this little piece. I know they're trying to stick to the original design because Dusty has his shirt tail hanging out on the original design, but at the same time, if you're gonna do something, man, do it right. And I don't like how they did it. Plastic on his shirt is super shiny, man. Put a bit of paint on it. Like his arms, legs, and all that stuff are all the same color. It's a nice soft plastic, nice flat overall finish on it. But his shirt is shiny, and it's actually a different color as well, so it kind of sticks out. And when we get down here too, his crotch piece is actually a different color. It's very light compared to his pants, and very light compared to his shirt. I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but in person, man, it looks kind of weird. It really stands out. Pretty bad, actually. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my score of 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think of our review, and if you guys had to rate this one out of 10, what would you give it? As always, if you liked our review, don't forget to hit that like button. And that subscribe button is right next to it if you guys want to support the channel. As always, we hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep collecting, stay safe, and go buy some toys.